This game is rated T for ages 13 and up. For more information, please go to esrb.org. Hello everyone, Gunvolt here, but you can call me KV. And welcome to Let's Play Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger X2. The sequel to the spin-off game, Luminous Avenger X, that was released originally back in 2019. It was kind of interesting. I wasn't expecting this game to get a sequel, and it turns out that it came out in 2022, the same year that Gunvolt 3 also came out, which... interesting choice, but I mean, I'm sure both games are great. I have played this game already on my own, just like the first Luminous Avenger X, but I decided that, with Gunvolt 3 also out now at the time of recording, how about I tackle both games at the same time? With this one being a more I know what I'm doing playthrough, and the Gunvolt 3 being the blind I don't know what I'm doing playthrough. Gunvolt 3. Luminous Avenger X3, X3, I'm getting ahead of myself. Luminous Avenger X3, my goodness. Luminous Avenger X2 is kind of its own interesting take on things. It's interesting because it still uses the characters that were established in Luminous Avenger X1, but it goes to a completely different place, and I guess we should just let the story speak for itself. So how about we start a new file? We won't go to this file. We'll go to a new file. We'll go file 4.
In the near future, in an unknown nation, a grim dystopia was dominated by an all-powerful AI unit gone berserk.
An interesting thing, too, about this game, this is the first Gunvolt game to have English voice acting. Gunvolt 3 would also follow this same suit, and because I am an English speaker, I'll be using the English track. There's a lot of good voice acting here, and I really want to give shoutouts to the amazing talent that have worked on this project.
It was destroyed thanks to the efforts of Copen, the Luminous Avenger X, and the world enjoyed a moment of peace. Copen and his comrades savored the newfound tranquility under the guidance of their new leader, Blade.
And I will also be kind of more silent for some of this because I want you to hear the dialogue that's coming through. This narrator is actually none other than Matt Papa, who was one of the heads of localization for Inti Creates from 2014 until 2022, when he departed the company shortly after this game's release to go work on the limited run games branch of Japan. He holds the Gunvolt series near and dear to his heart, so it was really cool that one of the people in their team got to do this kind of role.
With the world now at peace, Copen was finally able to lose himself in his research.
And I'll be going over other VAs as we go through it.
Seems like you guys had another busy day. Now that things are finally peaceful, you should really be taking it a bit easier than this.
That's a good idea, Kohaku.
Hey, come on now, Kohaku. Copen spent so long fighting the good fight. So now that everything's all peachy, he just doesn't know what to do with himself.
Yeah, Copen had been fighting Sumeragi, essentially, for decades, if not centuries, and now it's like, okay, well, we defeated them in the last game, so what do we do now?
That's not true. I fully intend on taking a break. It's this thing's fault. The more I learn about it, the more intriguing it gets.
Oh, that's the thing that just suddenly appeared in your hands one day, right? What's up with that?
Yeah, the story here is a bit weird. It's just like one day, this thing showed up.
It's a rifle-shaped processing unit, but its materials and constructions are not of this world. It's labeled Blaster Rifle. I still have no idea how or why it suddenly manifested before my eyes. It doesn't work right now, but if I keep digging, I may be able to determine something about the other world that originated from it.
And this also ties into a key aspect that's going to become very apparent in this game. If you're familiar with Inti Creates' other works before this game released, Blaster Rifle should sound somewhat familiar, but we won't go into that until a while.
Who was that talking just now?
Talking? I hear a thing. Whoa! Hey, you two, look at that!
Is that a wormhole?
Yep.
I got some huge energy readings here. I'm getting sucked in! Ah!
And so, welcome to the Luminous Avenger X2, which is an isekai. Bet you weren't expecting that.
Excuse me?
What in the world just happened? Kohaku? Lola? Are you okay?
Is everyone alright?
Who's that?
Oh,
She's
dear.
cute.
Please pardon me. If I may ask, would you, by any chance, happen to be human?
Well, yes, but also no. See last game. I'll go over some of the stuff that happened in the last game when we get to the first stage proper.
What are you?
I am delighted to make your acquaintance. Please call me Noel.
From the looks of you, you must be a robot, right?
And so our story begins. We're isekai'd to another world, and it's been a few months now, and we got to figure out why we're here.
There it is. The grave pillar. All the knowledge about this strange world is stored inside that.
I was about to say that's a big rock slab. No, it's the bigger thing on the right.
We should be able to find a way back to our world in there. Hopefully it really is that simple.
Getting there is going to be a pain in the butt. Sounds like there are tons of obstacles out there waiting for us.
That's exactly what my new gear is for. Besides, you can't just wait around forever.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Okay, let's get this mission started.
And with that, we're off to our first mission of Luminous Avenger X2, our opening stage. But first,
Whew. We made it pretty far, but looks like you got roughed up right good. That's where I come in. Listen up, boss. Open up your skill menu and use healing.
and so, a new factor of this particular game. You have the ability to heal yourself almost at any time.
Recovery sequence complete. You're getting better at using healing mode.
You'll also notice that the portraits of Copen, Kohaku, as we'll see later, and Lola have changed. They have different looks now that they're in the new world. Copen's for reasons of he upgraded himself, and the others because they wanted to make new portraits. The other portraits we saw before they got sucked in was actually the portraits from Luminous Avenger X1, which I thought was a cute little detail.
You bet I am. I can activate healing whenever, wherever, and however many times you need.
This comes with a big asterisk. Don't worry about it.
Seriously, there's no limit to it. Don't be afraid to use it whenever you want. Mission start.
Alrighty, so, compared to Luminous Avenger X1, Copen controls a bit differently. In Luminous Avenger X1, Copen controlled pretty much just like how he did in Gunvolt 2, in which you could dash around quite a few times with your bullet dashes, and you'd also shoot. This time he has this big saw weapon, and now you can get rid of the sands. I did not know I could get rid of the sands. That's a pretty silly detail, but that's kind of neat. He also cannot dash around as much. He only has that one dash, unless you were to bump into something. You'll also notice that his sprite work changes a little bit when you dash. That's because of how the different modes work. He has basically an attack mode and a flight mode. So you gotta get used to those. So this is a very big departure from the first game if you're used to those controls. Now in the first game, we went to save Kohaku and stop the evil Sumeragi and whatnot, and we also found these bonus chips that are hidden within all the stages. The bonus chips didn't do anything important in Luminous Avenger X1, but in this game they do. So here's how combat's going to work in Luminous Avenger X2. We can still run into folks by tagging them, just like we did in the first game, but we also have the ability to just go right up to them with our big razor. and it's actually more advantageous to do the ground attacks because it gives you more points for your kudos. Kudos being what is up there on the left-hand corner of the screen, that number that's constantly going up. Get 1,000 kudos, and you'll get a special prize. Kudos are basically used what is to grade you. And everything we're picking up right now is white chips. That's the currency of this game. It looks a bit different, and I'm kind of glad they made it a bit more obvious compared to the currency of Luminous Avenger X1. So yeah, the game's basically teaching you right now about all the basic moves that Copen has. So like this one, because it has a shield, we can't really do the grand attack, so we kind of had to do the other thing. Also, money goes away really fast, and we want money. Now, the one thing you'll notice that, because every time we go up and we do a dash, it says empty, we can't keep chaining off of enemies. The game really wants you to be using the ground attacks more often, if you can. In fact, there's some bonuses for doing this as such. Like previous Gunvolt games, a checkpoint will store all of your current points and heal you. So if you didn't want to go for a major high score, you can use the checkpoints. But if you want to go for a high score, you want to avoid using the checkpoints at all costs. Hi, dude. So as you see, the Quick Razor gives you 30 points, whereas just doing the aerial does 10. Now, as I said, you can bounce off things, so you can still do techniques like this, so long as there's something to bounce off within the range of your dash. But you can't use it to go super high, like you have in the past. Now for bonus emblems, there's always 4 at a stage, so be on the lookout for them. And I want the money, so I'm just gonna be stupid. The healing technique that Lola has, we can use it at any time. However, it will also store your score. Anytime you heal is when it's going to basically, say, convert your kudos into your main score. If you want to have a high score, you want to keep your kudos as high as possible without converting them. But we'll be just fine. Intro stage is just easy enough. Nothing to write home about, really. It's actually a really cool looking stage. It's a desert stage. A lot of the level design in this game I love because it's so different and so varied compared to what the previous Gunvolt games had. And especially Luminous Avenger X1. Not to say any of those are bad. But, I feel that the stage selection here is really good. Also, I love almost all the Lola songs in this game, because they're all really good compared to the previous game where I liked only a few. As you notice, we actually got more points for collecting all 4 of the bonus chips. So if you're going for all of them, you're guaranteed to hear the Lola song of the stage. The Lola song here is Command Prompt. Command Prompt is the main theme of Luminous Avenger X2, and I love it. Another thing to note is that when you get into what essentially this overdrive mode, now we have the ability to dash a bit more with that little gauge on the bottom. So there's actually a benefit to getting into this mode. Because now you can basically dash. So long as you hit something, you'll refill that gauge on the bottom. So there is a bit of there's a bit of risk and reward with this, which I really enjoy. Basically, if you want to go all ham in the sky, you want to get to this point. But in order to get to this point, you need to basically be getting really good high score and also probably not touching checkpoints. I just love... Command Prompt is one of my favorite songs, vocal songs that Inti Creates has done, I believe. And I am going to take this because I want to hear the other music still. Again, I'll say this right now, I think the music in this game is some of the best that Inti Creates has ever done. I think this is my favorite overall soundtrack that they've ever done. I think that Gunvolt 2 has some songs that I'd still rank higher than some of the songs in this OST, but as far as the OST being, this is the most solid out of all of the games so far I've played of theirs. So I want to hear not only the vocal songs, but also the main stage themes, because they're all really dang good. One thing I have not brought up yet is all these things surrounding Copen. We start with a sub-weapon out of the gates. The sub-weapon we have is Anchor Nexus, one of the first weapons that we would get from a boss in Luminous Avenger X1. So we no longer have Pervasion. We basically just have to deal with what we have here. But it makes up for it because we can heal any time. And also right over here, Colossal Maelstrom, that is our super attack that we can use. If you look at the upper left-hand corner where that blue circle is, that is how charged our super attack is. If our super attack is at the full, we can use it, otherwise it needs to charge. Additionally, that little bar underneath our health, that's the weapon sub-gauge. Just activating Anchor Nexus puts it down because of how Anchor Nexus works. But anywho's, I know a lot of explaining, but this game is really fun.
Are these a worker's remains? I wonder if it was guarding the grave pillar.
This game is really fun, and there is a lot to kind of explain as far as the lore and as far as how the gameplay really works. It is something you kind of need to get your hands on to really enjoy, and I feel like I'm not doing the game as much justice as I could just by talking about it right now and you seeing what's going on. As for some lore things, workers. Workers are the name of common class robots in this alternate dimension. Don't worry about it for now.
A worker gatekeeper. Left here to rust.
Nothing to report. Oh, I guess there's something to report.
What the?
And so we're introduced to our boss theme. The boss theme in this game is really good. And this boss is, well, he's just doing things. When you lock on to enemies, you can essentially keep doing long range so long as you hold the attack button. It'll eventually wear off, but it is a nice way to keep your distance. Obviously, the game wants you to do something more like this, but it's a bit harder when you have bosses that are kind of, going in your face. That shield of his is good at guarding our ground attack, so this is the best way to attack him. And I believe, if I was to do this... Oh, never mind. Anchor Nexus, in of itself, is a more powerful dash into them. More similar to how Mega Man games work, all bosses have weaknesses, and Anchor Nexus is a weakness of a boss, just not this one. And being the intra-stage boss, everything is fine here, nothing too crazy. It is interesting though, this intra-stage boss does look kind of similar to something else, if you're familiar with the Gunvolt series, but let's not worry about it. Also, I like that we got mode chains immediately after defeating him. So yeah, a lot to explain, a lot going on, but I hope you enjoy the ride. This is a really, really good game.
Damage. Critical. Strategic withdrawal.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Who the hell was that?
Good question.
You know, boss, that guy kinda looked like you.
Oh yeah, he did, I guess.
Did it make a copy of my data? That quickly?
Yeah, how?
Whatever. No use worrying about it right now. We're heading into the tower.
Hold on. Looks like the entrance is protected by some sort of barrier. I can't manage to hack my way in either. The barrier must be messing with the signal.
Oh, interesting.
And we'll just have to break through. I'll rip it open with my razor wheel. Stay back.
Wait up!
Hey, Kohaku. Kohaku was a girl who was basically the de facto leader of the resistance in the previous game. We saved her older sister. She got transported here with us, as you saw in the opening cutscene. And her theme is really good.
That was so messed up! You guys left me and Null behind! Seriously, you two? You followed us?
Well, where else is she gonna go? You're the only two people she knows in this world.
My apologies, Lola. We were so worried that we couldn't just stand idly by and wait.
Null is a new character. We saw her earlier on when we got isekai'd over here. I'm gonna keep using isekai as a verb. If you don't know what isekai means, it is basically, it's a term that is used for you get transported to another world for the story to happen. Which is how this game works. I like Null's design. I like her face. It's very, like, I don't know, she's really cute. But she, as you noted, as Copen noted, is a robot. She's a worker that lives here. We don't quite know all that's going on here, other than this grave pillar probably knows how to get home. Probably.
That was incredibly reckless. Are you hurt?
Nope, things got a little hairy on the way, but we were fine thanks to that special weapon he made for me. Anywho, what's the matter? Looks like you're in a bit of a tight spot. Yeah, there's this barrier blocking the entrance.
What barrier?
It looks open to me. Say what?
I love the English voice direction in this game. It's very good.
What did you do? Huh? Me? I have no idea. I don't think I did anything.
You showed up.
I may have an idea. The grave pillar was built by the creator and bequeathed to humankind. Perhaps when one of those humans, Kohaku, drew near, it responded?
That could explain it. Well done, Kohaku. I'm not human, so there's no way I could have pulled this off.
Yeah, remember, from the first game, Copen was revealed to be basically a robot because he modified himself. He's an android now, essentially. He's no longer fully human.
Don't mention it. Hey, hold up! Don't joke about stuff like that. You're very much a human, Copen. Your body is just all cyborgish.
Yeah, that.
Whatever you say. Come on, let's make our way in.
The grave pillar. A tower left behind by the creator. I believe it was originally used for research into restoring the environment to one suitable for human life.
Whoa! Check out this map! This thing's got a volcano, a jungle, and all kinds of other environments.
I like the idea of this large monolith of a structure. Yeah, we fit a volcano in here.
There's a whole volcano and jungle in this tower? It must be gigantic. This creator person must have been really incredible. That's who made you and the rest of the workers, right?
Correct. The creator researched all sorts of ways to restore the environment for humans. It is said that the creator left behind all their research data in the mother computer at the top of the tower. According to one hypothesis, humans were not wiped out. Instead, they were all transported to another world, or so I have heard.
I'm playing this after just finishing Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, so now this is making me go, oh no, IDF 86!
Since we just came here from another world, it's hard to totally deny that. Even if it would normally sound totally bonkers.
For now, we have no choice but to hope it's true.
I'm sure the data is all there. I'll do my best to help you find it.
Thanks, Null.
Oh yeah. Let's have a look around here first.
A while later...
Oh my! Just when we have made some progress, we seem to have gotten stuck.
No luck. Dang it. Looks like we'll need 2 card keys to open the lock. Card keys? Got my hands on some juicy data. And it looks like 2 of the workers in charge of this sector should each have a key on them.
Well, let's go talk to them and, you know...
Oh, I remember
Diplomacy.
hearing about that. There are powerful workers in charge of protecting this tower known as gravekeepers.
So the gravekeepers hold the keys. It would be nice if they just handed them over without a fight.
We gotta find him first. Kohaku, no? You two should wait by the entrance area. It looks like the security bots are programmed not to enter that part of the tower.
Don't even think about following us this time.
Don't do it.
Sorry about that.
Don't do it. Whatever you do, don't do it.
This tower has been operating for hundreds of years, huh? I wonder how it works.
And so, here is our main menu for the rest of the game. We have our mission, we have talk, we have music. I'll be going over more of these in detail in the next episode before we go to take on our first official, not intro stage, but I hope you've enjoyed this so far. Luminous Avenger X2 is quite a bit different compared to the first game, but I think it is one of Inti Creates' best works to date. I say this having not played Gunvolt 3 yet, but we'll see how that goes as I play the two games side by side. If there's anything you want more information on, please let me know, and I'll probably respond to them either in the comment section below with you or in a future video, potentially. But this game, really good. There is a lot of plot that goes on that's just kind of par for the course of the Gunvolt games, but I hope you enjoy what is to come. For that, I do ask that if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, always helps with the channel. No need to do so if you don't want to, but it's always appreciated. If you like what you see as far as the game goes so far, please consider picking up Luminous Avenger X2. In fact, pick up any of the Gunvolt games. They're all really dang good. I think you'll enjoy them, despite how some may be very different gameplay-wise. Inti Creates does really good work, so please give them your support. Most importantly though, please have a wonderfully great day, and I will see you all on the next episode of Let's Play Luminous Avenger X2. Until then, ciao!